Mary Wiles. Here. Mike Parsons.
Here.
Anthony Campbell.
Here.
Dan Milligan.
Here.
Justin Thompson.
Here.
Trevor Morrow.
Yes. Here.
Leon Kaufman. Here. 6-0. We have quorum. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anyone like to give the invitation this evening? Sure. Someone.
Father God, thank you for this day, thank you for this beautiful weather, thank you for our community and the members inside of it. I ask that you preside over this meeting tonight, let us make decisions that best suit you and best suit everyone in this city. I ask that you go with everyone on their way home today and let them have a safe and good week. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Mike Parsons.
Yes.
Anthony Campbell.
Yes.
Dan Milligan. Justin Thompson.
Yes.
Trevor Morrow.
Yes.
Leon Kaufman.
Yes.
Pass 6-0. Next we have ratify March 2022 bills. Minutes to look at those. Mike Parsons.
Yes.
Anthony Campbell.
Yes.
Dan Milligan.
Yes.
Justin Thompson.
Yes.
Trevor Morrow.
Yes.
Leon Kaufman. I'm sorry. Yes. Pass 6-0. Next we have the March 9th. Does anyone have any changes or updates or anything you'd like to see anything missing?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of March 9th, 2026.
Mike Parsons.
Yes.
Anthony Campbell.
Yes.
Dan Milligan.
Yes.
Justin Thompson.
Yes.
Trevor Morrow.
Yes.
Leon Kaufman.
Yes.
Pass 6-0.
the American Legion, for the last 6 months, 5 months, let us use their building to have our meetings at no cost. So I just want to put that out there, and tell them that's a huge thank you, yes. So anyone would like to make a donation for that cause, is more than welcome to. I know they'd appreciate it. So next we have a public hearing for the Public Works Supply District 3 transfer. Do anyone that's here for that, or questions, comments?
How about explaining exactly what's going to be going on?
Nate, would you like to help me with that?
So we are taking over the Pulaski County Water District. It's around 18 connections out towards MM. So it's the same water. They're handing over the infrastructure to us. And that's pretty much just it.
How much is it going to cost the city?
It was actually given to us for free.
All the houses have water meters and everything.
All the infrastructure was for free.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a couple miles.
We will have to change the meters, because our meters are not compatible with ours.
But we're talking about a couple of miles of infrastructure that was just given to us. So you can't beat that.
What were the reasons? Do you know?
Well, they had bad samples out there, but that was isolated between Country Mart and out there. So we already sample out that way anyways.
I agree with that. I didn't want to do it.
Anything else with the hearing? Let's go.
If anybody is here that needs a utility service agreement, we have some here. If anyone's here that needs to complete one or take one home, we have them here.
All right, next is your 2025 personal financial disclosure statements are due by May 1st. I think they do all that online, right? You'll get an email, and then you go online and do it. And even I believe if you're outgoing, if you serve 2025, you'll still have to do your personal disclosure. Yes, online. Oh, no. Yeah, I think you can tell you.
I fill it out.
Do you mail it?
And I do it for her.
I don't have to do that, but you can get an email.
No, but I
Okay. I'll see. I got 5 of them, but some of them aren't.
5 is so we can do it.
Even people that were January, February, March, April that went out, or some of those are on this list.
We'll have to contact them. All right, so the next is the CDBG bank account. This is for our teardown grant. The Department of Economic Development basically requires us to have a separate bank account away from all of our accounts. So we have to set up a separate non-interest bearing business account for those funds to go into. And that's what the individuals that are paying the $500 for the tear down, that money will go into that bank account. And that's what they'll give us the money to pay the contractors for. So I think we figured out who we need on the bank account. It'll be me and Kelly
As signers.
as signers
And then Lily will need access to the bank to reconcile.
to reconcile.
Yes.
I just need a motion, yes, to open that account.
Isn't there?
And it does have to say
Also,
when you move on.
Councilman will have to be on.
We can put whoever you want on
I
it.
was thinking that was a rule for, I'm going back 6 years.
Yeah, when I talked to Tina, she wasn't real, she just said, do something, whatever they require. But the
I
tax
was just saying in the past, there was something that like it couldn't just be because we're in it that way.
with just 2 people. I mean, let's make Anthony be on it too.
When you make the motion, the motion has to say non-interest bearing, just for a reason.
Yeah. So,
I don't care who. Be on the account. I make a motion.
go ahead, make that motion first.
What is, set up,
To set up a non-interest bearing.
I make a motion to set the parent account with Mary, Kelly, and Justin Designers.
Second.
We also need to say for a little bit
I
of
feel like, oh, for Lily to have access, not as a signer, but as an authorized user.
something,
Yeah, so she can be able, she can have to stay there.
because she has to reconcile.
She's our reconciler.
As an authorized user.
Yeah. Second on that?
Yep.
No, can't do the motion.
Who else would like the second?
Yes, miss.
You don't wait on it.
Mike Parsons?
Yeah.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Dan Milligan?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Waddle?
Yes.
Leland Kaufman?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
And next we have the soccer club. And you guys wanted to address the council, you had some things you wanted to ask, talk about.
So, sorry guys. What we're looking for is support.
Come on, Steve.
Somebody else came first. I'll just hand that down to everybody to take a look at it. So, we're talking about doing a bathroom and cook shack at the soccer field set back into the hill on the opposite side of the road. With the telephone poles that are in now, we would have to move it down further. So some concerns were brought up that would make kids and parents alike have to cross the road to use the bathroom. It would also be a little cheaper to build it on the opposite side of the road, kind of where our cook shack
Where it
is
currently
now.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it would be just a lot simpler building. So
I mean, if you need like the whole light bulb, electric bulb, anyway, let Kelly know, so we can have them do that for you.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the court has decided we would rather have it on the side away from avoiding traffic. Just keep the kids out of the road. So we redone our design. It's pretty much the same layout. It's just single level instead of double now.
Okay.
And went through some costs and best case estimates. We're still having trouble getting contractors to come to get back with us. Nobody seems to be interested in doing the work. So we've basically got all of our estimates with the work being done either like impact installations offered to spray foam for us. The concrete company has offered to give us the concrete basically at cost. So we're going to do a lot of the work ourselves and try to save that.
Yeah, I know you talked about your donations, so that's good.
So what's the current estimate at?
So Matt had some of the estimates and I had some of the estimates and we were adding them up over here a minute ago. So
We just got some.
we don't have it down to the penny, but we're somewhere around 36,000.
That's concrete, us doing the labor as the soccer club, and hopefully the city doing possibly some of the grading for the dirt work, so that'll cut up that cost. And then we still have some of the additional plumbing costs going in for rough end. It's been hard to get someone to actually give a bid to do rough end plumbing on it. But that was the building, and it was for outside, it was $17,223 for the entire structure for a 24 by 42. That's with roof trusses, everything. And then concrete is another, was it 16 yards of concrete?
Yeah, we figured around 3,000 before. This building cuts it down to, let's say, around 2,000.
You said 24 by 42?
Yes. And So with plumbing fixtures and everything else, that was an additional.
About 15,000.
Yeah, 15,000 with all of his plumbing.
So,
So it cut the original down
and then
drastically.
WCC has told us that they could frame it for us, and we would just have to haul it out here and stand it up. So, lots of savings there. But,
Because they can use it as a kind of a pre-graduation requirement for that course, so they get hands-on structure building, some frames.
So with the donations and the in-kind labor that you guys are providing as the soccer club, what are you looking at as your cost, like the cost for?
So we're not.
Did you say 36,000?
Yeah, we're.
Okay, just want to make sure that I didn't hear that incorrectly.
So that wasn't including our, not really including that into it, but where we were setting was at 36. So I know with the club, we're setting fairly well, but it's more, we're hoping to do like a 50-50 kind of match with the
We
city.
were hoping the city would help us out with costs and expenses.
Is that all mechanical drains, parts, materials here? Because you told me you figured how much for plumbing.
About 15,000.
So,
Yeah.
if the plumbing is making up half your budget, I'm just curious more about HVAC, electrical.
So that's donated, so.
Materials also?
For
Materials.
the HVAC,
Yes, that's one of
the electrical, we've got figured around
the
2,000.
nice ones. So they were donating, the UCC was donating the mini split.
Okay.
To-
The number seemed off, when I guess I knew what the plumbing number was for materials. So,
So that's honestly a huge hit, is material. Everybody's plumbing was that expensive, so. But it's cheaper to kind of build a building than nothing.
I mean,
it is to.
part of it too, is you did favor commercial fixtures.
Yes.
But I don't think it would be wise to not figure that out.
Because longevity, especially, for pretty much the ones maintaining it with the city, so.
I was gonna say, I mean, maybe you can rebuild it or stronger.
Right.
That's,
So do you guys have any questions for us?
When it's not being used, are you gonna put doors on it so people can't get into it?
Yes.
So part of that, there was the solid steel core doors with steel frame. So instead of it just being the generic doors, they were steel frame, steel core. So that way they couldn't break in.
We have one entrance set up for the restrooms. That way we can just close it off when it's not in use. Right here. And you have your men's and your women's.
Security, keep in mind. So they install a light shield.
But
Okay, just at the pole.
I don't know why. That's our club.
Just to make it a good shot area.
Kids, they want their families, they all go down
They
there.
want-
So we have attics.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we're
Yes.
preparing to just windows and solid shield.
Are you going to block?
No, we're going to do it very bigger.
And we did have the electric company come out and send some more dusted on.
Yeah, I saw those.
Okay.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I think Nate and Vince went down and kind of mapped out, because they spend a lot more time down there than I do, so I let them kind of pick where they thought they were needed.
Yes, it's been used a lot. The soccer clubs have been paying for the porta johns down there, just so they don't have to go into it. So, with the high schools, I know that they're.
Yeah, are you gonna demo the building, or does they need to, do we need to demo the building, or?
So,
The whole building, we want to keep it?
We were just planning on like pouring the toilets out, capping the pipes, and just using it for storage.
Good, we utilize that way.
Fine.
Because then that would also, building the building would kind of clean it up down there, so you wouldn't have our other storage shed. And then hopefully the high school could try to work something out and utilize the old restroom or co-use the storage portion in that building.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Stroud's really great to work with on that portion.
Yeah, we talked about that, there's a bathroom down there, and next to a school would probably like to have access to that.
Yeah, so like they have access to the AED and everything, so we have that there, so. Really,
Have you approached this, sorry, you may have been asked this already, have you approached the school about?
So when we started this process, we did talk to the school, and with their budget and all of the restrictions that come with doing, since we're a nonprofit, we don't have all of the rules and the restrictions that other stuff has. So the school, tying it up with the school was gonna be a lot of red tape, and then it goes into a lot of, it all has to be commercial grade, it has to fit certain boxes, and our cost was going way up. So
Is there, I didn't look at the plan very well, is that ADA accessible? I know that's.
it would,
Yeah, that's my
yes,
next question. At least one stall.
There will be one in the.
one of the men's and one of the women's.
One of the women's.
That is
And it's all gonna be
accessible.
one level, so.
Okay.
And all the doors are full width, so when they come in, there's enough room
To
to
get
swing
in,
between
yeah.
the two restroom spaces.
Do you guys have a thing in there, like a place for a PA system for the, just wondering, like during games, calling the games? Is it even by that field?
No, it's gonna be more, so we want to kind of centrally locate, because
The little
if
fields.
anybody has young children, they know how far it is from the U6 field when they've got to go pee. It's a long ways.
Oh,
Across the room.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
So no, we don't have it down by the high school.
Nope, yeah, I was just wondering.
So you want to ask about financial?
Yes,
Okay, so you might have to bring us an exact number.
18,000
Okay.
What's your time frame?
next week.
Sorry, next week.
We can start.
Wait, there's no games.
Do you guys feasibly have the 18,000 in your part right now?
Yes, we do.
We have fundraised our butts off.
And that's the beauty of it, is everyone in the community is, a part of the fundraiser, so they know what's going on, it's listed why it's for it, so.
Yep. Lots of
Lots
donuts.
of donuts.
So realistic timeline, we would like to have things in motion where we can be getting WCC to make the framing before the end of their school year. Would we break ground before the soccer season ends? Probably not, but we can have our things in motion. That way when they've got all the walls formed up and the soccer season kind of ends, we can go down there, dig a hole, throw some rock in it, and start building.
So when we had talked previously, we had talked about our guys helping with some in-kind labor.
Mhm.
Are we still on board with that kind of thing? Or
Absolutely. As far as the infrastructure and like getting our entrance cable to it and our sewer line in, water line, all of that, yes, we would need help in those areas.
Which is also helped with the change in location, because they already ran the water line over to that quick shack, so it just has to be extended to the new building.
What are you guys gonna need help with concrete?
If you would like to help.
We're not gonna turn it out that way.
Because I'm old.
On your own time.
I just want to, the responsibility for public works though would be water, sewer, and electric, right?
Yes.
Correct. And just the grading to.
Right.
Dirt work.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, you could make a motion to give them a certain amount.
I'm gonna stop for just a second and pass this to Kelly and see where we can, you're our budget lady here, so.
The part is the general fund.
Yeah.
So what is your recommendation then? Give us your best recommendation here.
You have your amounts right here.
Yeah, I know. We also have budget amendments, probably.
I mean, we're gonna be having budget workshops coming up, so
We are.
to know what we need to do.
When's the next one is when we decided for us?
Or we're
Oh, we were gonna do it tonight.
gonna decide tonight.
Yeah, when that meeting was.
So we get our new folks in.
Does it have to be parks specifically?
Yeah, it would have to be more. I mean,
I think
Gonna
the
wait till we
smart
have
thing
them.
to do is probably wait till I budget workshop and table it.
I mean, if you're not gonna start on it tomorrow,
We're not.
then,
We're not putting on back burner, but
no.
we want to see where
We
we
need
are
to
around
start
the
it.
budget.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And are we kind of waiting for the new council to come in and then everyone can get an idea what the budget was together and then we'll make decisions after that?
We'll have something called.
I think we're gonna, be soon though, right? I mean,
We need that,
we're looking probably
Yeah,
early
I
next
think
week.
it's not.
Yeah, probably, I mean, early next week, maybe, is what I'm thinking, so.
Would like this month.
That's fine.
No, that'd be perfect. Just the thought of it.
But maybe next week's better than no today.
Without running out too numbers, I don't know if we can get to 18, hopefully we can, but we'll get some.
And it's also one of those, even if it's spread out a little bit, to where we can get, I'm not saying like 2 years, but if we get the okay, say, hey, we only need 8,000, then that means we can go ahead and say, okay, we can order the building and get started on concrete and everything else, and then maybe we can go.
Right. Even if we had a fundraising again next spring to finish our financing, we would be okay with just getting the building right in and the plumbing roughed in to get started. Good plan. All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys. The DCA car show. I know Ray could not be here, but I think she's gonna kind of be here.
We're gonna try. I'm gonna try and let her listen if she can't really hear, so.
Yeah, our acoustics are not very good.
I will say if everyone will talk into their mics, that might help. Let me get her. I didn't know you were gonna try to come something.
No. They do have their, applications for their event, so.
Pardon?
She's the brains of our thing.
Good job.
Maybe next time not use purple or pink or.
It looks fine.
It doesn't press very well, that's what you know. I'll say that.
Well, the only reason we're doing it tonight is because we're looking new to the second Monday. That would only give us 26 days before the cars go off in the next council meeting. So we want to have it 30 days, we want to set for everybody to do their paperwork properly. Get it in.
Ray, can you hear?
Oh, yeah, did you enjoy that?
I did.
Can you hear?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. How do you want me to start? Just go?
Go. We'll wait on you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so, thank you to city council members for allowing the DCA to come and present our DCA car show. The car show is currently scheduled for June 6th. And we were requesting if we could have the city.
You're cutting out, Ray, can you hear anything?
Okay.
Okay, now you're back.
yellow markers on your map?
Did you hear that question, Ray? That's the yellow markers on the map?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
When it comes to Cup of Faith, we are not blocking their entrance, nor are we blocking their exit. That yellow orangish blockade is going to be to where their customers can come in and still go out of their drive-through and go down, turn right on the hill.
Nate, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. And what time? Is that entrance to put those up? Saturday morning?
6:30. I carried it on was 6 p.m. That morning.
Well, since it's so early, what may happen, the barricades, we may set them on the sidewalk next to the building, they're real light ones.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you guys can just set those up exactly where you want them. That works.
And we have cones too, so you have to, I mean, you don't have to have cones outside.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any cones left or not.
We have like 70, almost 80 cones, the big ones.
So they need to sit out June 5th, the night before?
Yeah, I was setting up the night before either, like, just where they won't block the sidewalk or block the street from. So they can set those up that early in the morning. Question?
Yeah. It looks like you're gonna be set up on Elm Street, south of Second Street. And you checked with the acre, Marcy, them, because they're normally open on Saturday.
Yeah, we've got a foreman here.
Okay.
We've got to leave around.
Every business owner that's going to be affected.
Oh, see, online,
Yeah.
it doesn't show Stony Acres or Marcy as having done anything.
Yeah, we have to, they know we went in talking about shoot, they were busy, so we
Okay.
rechecked with them. Yeah.
Just want to be sure.
Because Ray and I went around the whole town and walked
Okay.
the whole businesses and got signatures from most of them, or if they're not going to be open.
Or just at least notify.
Yes.
I just, as long as they,
Yes.
I know those two are normally open on Saturday.
We still have quite a bit to kind of button up. Like we said, this was the last meeting we could get to that was 30 days out, so we're kind of a little on the early side in here. So we still have some final details to pin up, but we're talking to them.
Okay.
We're not doing anything to anybody that they're not going to appreciate.
Thank you.
We've got Reggie and a trainee coming. He's going to help out with security in case anything was to pop off. We're going to come and try to train up the trainee, trying to help us out with security.
Okay. I think, Nate and Chief, you guys have got a copy of the application, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a copy of the application.
I did.
So if they have any questions later, they might be contacting one of you. Who's your viewer? Leona?
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, the pictures are on there.
Okay. Did she have anything else?
She had anything else?
We have a tiny delay.
No.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
Other questions? Back over there.
No utilities, no water.
We're going to have a DJ set up on the corner, right there by the bridge, right there on the corner. We have a drop on.
Okay.
So, but that's the only electric that we're going to have. So,
And there are going to be vendors?
I'm sorry?
Vendors?
Yeah, they're like on the second to the last page there, on the back page there, and right up to the team. And you can add Mario's. Mario's is going to be on there too.
Yeah, again, we still have a couple pending with that. We kept it to local so we can support our businesses here in town. We did include a couple of food trucks, one confirmed and one maybe just for the sake of they were also local, they're just not a storefront.
Perfect.
So, then a few novelty food items.
We're still looking for non-food members.
Yeah.
If anybody knows anybody's interested, get a hold of me, we're still looking for non-food.
Ray did point out also we will have porta potties set up, so that'll help them know utilities needed there.
Thank you.
So just to clarify, we are good with the barricades and they will be out the night before
Yes.
in our lights, so we can just put them out right
Yeah, they'll be the aluminum ones. And if something comes up and you need, I'll have you get a phone number from Nate for our on-call person. So if you guys do need something. Next is the scrap tire grant modification. I think we had to, Lacey, we had to adjust the number of picnic tables. We were just wanting to know what number everybody was good with, because it went down, correct? It went from like 10 to 8. No.
It stayed at 10, we just got a wheelchair accessible one.
Okay, so the number didn't change. I think, was that all we had?
Yeah.
So, but the amount went down?
I assume you guys would have that with you, because I had it to the agenda. I originally wrote it for something, I contacted DNR to see if we could modify it to where we could add a wheelchair accessible table to the grant. They said yes, we just needed a signature from the mayor and the person over the Parks Department and our city clerk, and to modify it. That was it, as long as we stayed in our budget. And so we modified it to 10 tables, which Vince and Nate thought that the 10 tables were appropriate for fitting into the pavilions. So that's what we modified it to.
As we did the modifications. All right. Next we have business licenses. I think we have an update. Does this have the one that came in today? Is that on here, updated?
Yeah, that's this afternoon, they just printed this.
These are this is all unbelievable.
No, you can see on there, they put off the side, they don't have any stuff in there,
I think that's the, no, it's not.
I didn't see it on the list, I was trying to check.
Any questions, comments, questions on it?
So it has on there, it says letter mail, it makes it on pay.
So,
Signing is the letter, the last letter mail was 2/5, so it's not just.
so in the 2026 DL, that's business license number, so there's one on the last page that says past due. That one's the only one that doesn't have a business license, and then down below there.
That one and the one.
Right,
Okay.
that's the last brick and mortar that does not have one,
I got you.
and then everybody's below that. Everybody got a letter initially, because she hadn't sent like past due ones, because those are like contractors, so we don't send renew, because we don't know if they're back in town.
Yeah, they try to come out and tell that one time thing.
Well, yeah, some.
I wonder if we can do, or like you did the hand delivery, have a cheap delivery, so to speak.
Well, there's only one brick and mortar left, and it hasn't been delivered yet.
What is it?
And delivering a letter to businesses that have not gotten their business license.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if
got to enforce it anyway, so, yeah.
That's
I still have Ray on, she asked, what kind of fines can they get for renewing it, not renewing, still being in business and selling?
She's supposed to be working on that.
Yeah, I said, no, we don't have, that's not set yet.
I mean, we had, what, another 8 months, I guess, to figure it out.
I mean, there's a couple that are probably, we have to have, they forget if they've done a membership.
And then I guess, Wes, you guys are checking if we see contractors out, that kind of thing, if they have their business license. If you guys see them, you're not gonna see everyone, but it's mowing season, we're gonna have 50 different mowing companies out, I'm sure, so.
Okay.
I mean, you guys have checked it before, is that what, it's you? No?
No, but I mean, I can.
That's up to everyone else too, I don't know. Is Wesley checking business life? I mean, he said he could.
I think in the past, it's been the maintenance supervisor who's stopped and checked.
because of the permits, right?
Yeah.
And then if he has a problem, then he goes to chief, and then the chief.
Do we cut, whatever you guys are
It seems like
comfortable
a lot of
with?
steps for one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we cut out one person, we just have the guy who's
One thing literally just said, but, no, I mean, and Nathan is gonna be the one that's going to see job sites. That's people working, so, because at least a couple on this list are working on new houses and have since the first year, so. But,
Yeah, I think if Nate sees them, he says something, it's, the only time chief would get involved is if there's recalcitrant or he's having a problem.
correct.
I'm gonna completely shut it down until they drive over here and get it.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be, hey, you need to go get it next time. You go right out and get it, or you're not doing it anymore than you get it now.
There's none on here, but like, I mean, of course, in my trade, there's times where you go to the county at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm not gonna be able to do this.
And no one's gonna see it.
Right. Well, there's that too, but it's like if the job begins the next day, you get it and you take care of it.
No, I
Yeah, that's.
I mean, just.
There's no job records.
It's difficult to, when I got a million things going on, to stop.
Yeah, no,
Verify, I gotta call City Hall and verify if they have one or not. I mean,
It's literally just you kind of being somewhat familiar with the list. And those of you on here, you're gonna know.
I'll have to get the list.
Can we update the list, like on a shared Google Drive with his iPad? And keep that updated with him all the time, I guess. That'll help, that'll be like a call or.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's really, there's a few of them on here that I've never even heard of. That, I mean, one of them server for golf. They're not gonna worry about getting business license until somebody calls them and asks them to do it. They'll show back up and say, that don't work, you know. And there's some that are local guys that I don't know when the last time some of them have been working in town. Maybe they did a couple of years, or maybe they did a job last year, so they got one. And I would say just kind of familiarize yourself with the list, and just that way you kind of know, you know, if you do see them or been seeing them or whatever, just, you know. I mean, I really don't think there's but maybe 3 on the list that are still doing business in town regularly. They don't have it. 4 maybe.
I think part of the problem that Chief's having with some of the stuff is, like, there isn't anything in the ordinance that says $25 per month for every month, right? So we're able to fine them for that, but if they're still operating, they're just racking up a bill and they're operating, right? There's nothing that says we can shut them down. We can cite them, but based on what? And so Katie had to leave, our attorney, but she did want me to ask, how many days notice would the council like the businesses to have notice from police before they're shut down? Because she's going to be working on an ordinance that can help us enforce these. So how many days notice do you want the businesses to have before the police are able to actually shut the businesses down?
Like 10 days.
Well, here's the difference though, you have the people who are on this list already that are 4 months in, you know, so, but then you have the people who just coming into town they do a roofing job or mowing, and they do one, and then what we do, tell them they get 15 days extra on that.
So what does the ordinance say?
That's-
Doesn't it say that
Well,
you have a business license to operate?
Well, my question was that, so if we don't have an ordinance on that, why do we have, what's the ordinance for the business license itself?
I mean, it says you have to have one, but the problem that, like Chief says, is that we don't have a leg to stand on. It says they have to have one, so okay, if they don't,
So they can't operate without it.
but you can't stop them.
Right, there's no enforcement section.
Yeah, there's nothing in the ordinance that says we can send chief over to shut them down.
Right, like, I mean, and even a citation, like I'm looking at it right now, there's not really, I mean, there's an ordinance number, but if that was to go to court and they say, well, what's the penalty? And there isn't a law saying it's $100 if you get caught without a business license in time or whatever the case is, like there's nothing to enforce. Because I think this ordinance was written for brick and mortar businesses. And not people coming in to do work. So if you catch somebody, say doing a roof or a plumbing job or whatever the case is, and I confront them, then all I can do is tell them to go get it. Well, if they tell me to kick rocks, I mean, there's really nothing legally that I can do, you know. So we're gonna have to, there's a few, I know it's not my portion here, but there's a few ordinances that we're gonna have to tweak for enforcement purposes. And we've been working with Katie on this, we're working on the abatement now, because it was in the same shape. There was like multiple different qualifications for the enforcement section of it. So that's what we're just gonna have to figure out what we want as a city. And, you know, I personally think that people coming in, if they come in and do a job, then they need to get a license. But it should be different than the brick and mortar license that are here every single, like a different quality. Like if your business is not in this address, then it's different than what it would be if.
I agree, because if these brick and mortars, they don't have 3 months, they're finding different than the people that just come here and their first job is in June.
Right.
We can't find them all the way back in January.
Right, exactly.
So that's the tough part. But I guess what I'm trying to get across is we're not doing this to be hard on business, we're doing it to protect the people here and now.
Yeah.
Because what we do is check their insurance, correct?
Yeah.
And we make sure that if they come do shady work, we don't know who they are, then they're covered. And so it's really not us being jerks to businesses, it's trying to look out for the people here.
Keep in mind, that sounds great on paper, but we cannot require general liability insurance.
Correct. But
We can ask them if they want it, but
Yeah,
that's.
we can ask, but the whole reason for a business license is to make them come in.
Yeah, it's because the company's willing to do
Yeah.
the paperwork and like 100% part of it. We require work on because it's promising. We can do that.
Is there any way that we have a budget workshop, is there any way like to have an ordinance workshop, because I know we're trying to get an ordinance for the dogs, the loose dogs. Is there any way to have like an ordinance workshop where we can discuss ordinances that we need to look over and maybe change with the attorney?
Like have the attorney and chief at that?
Yes.
I've been pounding the ordinance book, going through, I mean, Kelly and I found some really neat ones, like, I don't know if you knew it, but you can get a fine for not tying your mule up. And the marshal has to stoke the fire in City Hall. There's a bunch that are just,
You're gonna be missing this word.
listen. I mean, there's a bunch of neat ones.
But like catching that out there.
So, I've been on it
There used to be a hitching post.
and working with Katie, trying to get a list together to bring to Katie. Obviously, the abatement was one, the dog ordinance is another one, this business license one is gonna be one, like, we're just gonna have to really fine tune, and that way it's set and actually voted on and done right.
Yeah, we can do a workshop and make a list for all the ordinances and for that, and that way we can all sit and talk about just that.
Does everybody have E-code 360? There's a link to it on the website, ordinances, the E-code. If you click on that, you can go and search the code.
The code book, yeah.
And in there, it shows you what ordinance, and then you can go into the ordinances and you can look at the ordinances. So make sure that there's not an ordinance that kind of, cancels that one out. But if you go in there, then you can find them, and otherwise we'll be there for probably hours and hours trying to figure
No, that's why
out
I
ordinances.
bring a list.
Yeah, bring your homework with you.
Don't, yeah.
Well, there's probably all of them.
That probably need to be,
But when you make a new one, it should say that it supersedes anything
Yes,
prior.
we do.
There's a bunch of them in there that say that, right?
Yes.
And then the old ones are still.
On the business licenses, how would that affect, like, because we're talking about maybe like a computer situation or something different for people coming in and out. So how is it gonna apply, like, to events like our car show, counties, stuff like that, with, you know, vendors that are gonna be here for a day and then maybe never again, or 2 days?
Yeah, and that'd be something we have to address.
So
So
how does
right now, you just buy a business license, you're good for the year.
So
Whether you're here 1 day or 300 days.
So for like our car show, the few vendors that we're gonna have here, if they don't have a business license, do I need to bug them about it, do we need to worry about it, or can
They
we
should
wait
have.
until this ordinance is figured out?
Well, right now, they would need a business license.
Why don't they fall under the umbrella of the people who are the organization that's putting on the event?
Correct,
Because this,
We don't have orders for that.
I looked it up, I cannot find any other city in Missouri that charges vendors that, not the vendors you all are talking about, but vendors for weekend events, you know, because they fall under that. Same thing with farmers market, they fall under
Well,
their umbrella.
usually, like, the festival permit.
For festivals and stuff.
Pardon?
Lanesville and Center Harbor both have a vendor license for festivals.
No, they don't.
No, oh, they don't.
No, I've actually called about 6 different festivals, and they're like, yeah, we don't require that, they fall under ours.
I think that was a decision the council made a while back to do that.
What you're doing is you're forcing those of us who have a craft, licensing as a business, which opens us up to federal tax laws that are separate from actual business owners. And like, I do have a business, but I'm not a brick and mortar business, nor do I carry inventory in my business. So therefore, I have a whole different tax thing to go through.
I'm not a brick and mortar business and I don't carry inventory in my business, but I still have a business license in America.
So what I have a business license in Placer County because that's where I live. I do not live in
See, I don't do retail, so mine's even different from that. It's not that ordinary to have, there's different cities, I do different things for, it's whatever they're required. I do contractor's license for some, I do business license for others.
I don't fall under, I still fall under the hobby thing though. So we're talking apples and oranges here for what you do and for what I do. Even Lebanon, with as weird as they are, they tell you that you have to prove as a business owner that you do not owe Missouri taxes before you can participate in any of their vendor events. And they can do that. Because that's what they require.
You sell an item and charge sales tax on it?
Yep.
Then that's
It's
why-
Placer County though.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's state, is what they're, sales tax is what you're charging. So that's why they can do that.
I'm just charging the county tax, that's all I have to charge, because my stuff is delivered to you through the email. It's not.
So why do farmers market, vendors fall under the farmers market business license, but like the DCA vendors don't fall under the DCA business license, and the county's vendors don't fall under the chamber business license?
DCA, non-profit, our insurance covers our vendors. We did
And our insurance covers our vendors too.
I think that's big part, like what Trevor was saying, insurance.
Well, that's my point. So why does it apply to the farmers market, but not, like the garden club, why does it apply to the garden club, but not DCA or the chamber?
That's just what we're charging for those services. That's the whole reason we started this and everything else.
So it's $85 to get a booth at Calgary. Do you realize how many people you're going to alienate that live in this
We
community?
don't, wait. Does the city charge $85 for the booth?
They charge $35.
No, they charge the 25. My point is, why isn't it across the board to everybody? Why?
What does the city charge for a vendor license at an event? What do we charge?
We don't have a vendor license. We have a business license, $25 in town, $35 outside. It has not even been a thing until this year when I was contacted by Calgary to say that they were going to pay business licenses. It has not even been paid prior to 2026.
We can talk about it.
We have not had that.
As having a vendor license for those events, but we talked about making it a very cheap number.
and water aren't they paying it? Doesn't Chamber of Commerce pay it?
We pay gas station.
You pay the gas station directly to Cadillacs.
We write a giant check to gas station to your debt.
The chamber, or is that what you're saying?
Chamber.
Okay, that's, I just clarifying. So, but either way, our costs for man hours for, how many hours does it take you to set up Cadillacs and hunt down and everything else?
A lot.
That is why we had talked about the vendor license. So I assume that's what we were talking about this whole time, because we were saying we haven't considered vendor license. So that was talked about a long time ago, to set that up as the vendors at Cadillacs, because I think we get some from the chamber, is that right? As a business license or something for the event license, we charge something for that?
They just have a regular business license.
Okay, so, yeah, that's why, because the city gives them $35 from the chamber, 20, okay, to host cowboys, and we're spending that every 25 minutes or 10 minutes that we have guys.
Well, I mean, it's still a great event for the community.
Sure, it's great, but
I don't know why it's still being said, like, the city gets nothing for counties, so it's still a great city there.
yeah, I'm sure it is, it's just, that was discussed though, and it's just a way to recoup some funds. That's all it is.
So because I'm out of the town, I have to pay 35.
No, that's why this has been a whole misunderstanding here, because I assume, and everyone else assumed that we were talking about a vendor license for this event, correct?
It's because the city makes nothing off of counties, so.
I mean, we don't actually. Okay.
There are.
We established that. The city makes nothing off of counties, so I think so.
But they usually, so if there's going to be under license, they usually work with the group that's putting on the event, and it's absorbed into that.
And we don't have a vendor license. That's probably why we do the $25. We just have to get
Yeah,
it.
I don't have a problem with making it much less for each individual vendor at an event. We have 10 vendors and we just say, whatever, $15 thing or something like that. Just something.
Yeah, I mean, we bounced a lot of things around.
Yeah, I guess it never decided. I thought we had, but.
I think we just went ahead and went like the $25 as a business license.
And that may have always decided, we may discuss it tonight, and said this stick with the business license, but if it is, it is.
I mean, it's something we can add to the workshop to talk about.
But that was the whole point, was that, it's just.
Yeah, when you do that, can you clarify too, after you guys decide that you're gonna do the vendor thing, if somebody buys the 5 one, that lasts for a whole year and it's not per event?
Yeah, for the vendor license.
Yeah.
And that may be it too, because the business license is a year.
But if we're doing a separate.
So as a vendor, you can set up at every event here in town.
Right.
So.
A vendor license means you can set up an event.
Yeah,
I think that vendor license to sit on the street corner and sell every Saturday afternoon.
we could do something
I
like
mean,
that to where.
set up as a vendor license.
Was $10 or $12 or whatever, 15. But if they want to buy a business license, then that covers them for it. But it would need to be specifically stated. Because when somebody that's planning on doing a car show and cabanas, then they can just buy a business license and they're covered for the entire year or whatever. And you don't. That would probably be the best.
Anything else?
Need more of these. Put it on, we need to work.
I don't mean to put that first, but for DCA, our car show is within the next 30 days. So what's a good solution for us for our show?
Well, right now, currently it is by business license. So that's what the answer is.
So but if there's.
We don't have a vendor license right now, and that may not be something that gets done before your event. So.
That's good. There's not one, or there's no repercussions or anything that's, I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's
probably
the other part of it.
I get it, but I don't want for us to have a bad relationship with the city. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. No, I don't.
For lack of a better way to say it, I'm not trying to please the vendors over the city or the city over the vendors. I would just like a resolution, so moving forward, we know what to expect, and I realize that can't be done with a snap of fingers, but we're just trying not to step on any toes on either side.
Yeah.
I think just for you, is that looking at this list, I think everyone who on this list is already in this.
They're
probably already on.
The majority do, but there are a couple of smaller vendors that I think if it boils down to it, if they are required to have a license, they're probably not gonna come.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of vendors during counties, so, I mean, you're gonna kiss your mom and pop about it. A lot of senior citizens do counties to supplement their income.
Again, to be very, very clear, the chamber came to us about paying business licenses. We did not change a single thing.
Right.
So we didn't ask for it. We have the associations, organizations, DCA, chamber, garden club, whatever, pay theirs. We have not changed a single thing.
DC is not for profit.
So,
Correct. Yeah.
just so everyone's clear.
They should fall into the same category as the church.
So,
Does all the churches get business license?
So then come May 2nd, I'm gonna be at the church after call, and I'm gonna ask every one of the members for the farmer's market if they've got a business license.
They don't.
They don't.
Well, then they're not gonna sell it.
She was told that all of her vendors fall under her business license.
because that's what we've done. Nobody's hearing what I'm saying. That's how we've done it until Cowdays came to me and said, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to have everybody have business licenses. We were not doing that prior to 2026.
So I was told that I would have to do that this year. Am I?
By who?
City council. I mean, Trevor just said that's why we decided that.
Yeah.
Well, I said, I called, it was decided.
Yeah,
Well, we've been wanting Cowdays to do that for a long time, but we haven't.
But here again, we get into the enforcement.
I just think
Where's
it's
Until it changes.
I was told that was happening in 2026, period, end of story.
So as of right now, there's nothing telling you that they don't all under yours. That's what I'm understanding, right?
That's what I'm hearing.
So that's it. Whatever you have for your car sale, that's it. Until we change it, it's in the book. It's over. There's nothing new, correct? We have not agreed to put anything in the thing. As is.
Until we know.
And then we will work on making a decision quick to get this resolved, because obviously we have a lot of counties around the corner, we have all this stuff.
getting
So
clarification.
we're gonna have to figure it out.
Thank you.
Okay. Swearing in of elected officials. New page, new chapter. Alright, so, let's do ward one. So we ended up, I think we had a couple of write-ins for Ward 1. We ended up having one individual that qualified, I guess is the right word. Okay, and that's been Kathy Wood. You ready? Are you gonna do it? You can. Either one could do it. This is Miss Kathy Wood, and she's in Ward 1. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, or say anything before we do this, or?
I lived in the city for 9 years, and I work as a sub at the school. I am retired, and my name was written in, and it started out to be a joke. And then, when I came up to talk to them here, it was something that I was interested in, and I'm just thinking that this could be my niche.
Try something new.
Yes.
All right, we'll give you that. sometimes it's easier to follow. All right, will you repeat after me? Raise your right hand, sorry. Thank you, Chief. I, Kathleen Wood, do solemnly swear
I, Kathleen Wood, do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office to which I have been elected,
to the office to which I have been elected,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri,
the laws of the state of Missouri
the laws of the state of Missouri
affecting fourth-class cities,
affecting fourth-class cities,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and that I will faithfully demean myself
and that I will faithfully demean myself
in the office of Ward 1 alderperson for which I was elected.
in the office of Ward 1 alderperson for which I was elected.
City Mike. City Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Go back, stand one.
It's free, it's free.
You're next.
Might be done.
And just cap, just don't say anything. It's the same thing. Make sure it says the
Mike, thanks for your service.
It's been my pleasure.
I, Daniel Milligan, do solemnly
Do
swear
solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
prescribed by law for the office
prescribed by law for the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
that I will support the Constitution of the United
that
States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
the laws of the state of Missouri
the laws of the state of Missouri,
affecting fourth-class cities,
affecting fourth-class cities,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and that I will faithfully demean myself
and I will faithfully demean myself
in the office of Ward 2 alderperson
in the office of Ward
He is two.
Another percent, Daniel.
Dan, you're Ward 2. Yeah.
office of Ward 2 alderperson for which I was elected.
All right, thanks. Okay, so,
Yeah, she is.
just for now.
Because you're on the next end.
So we had a tie for Ward 3. We have both my people here.
She just went through.
Oh, she did. Okay, she's gonna wait for her. James? Okay. And then when Miss Deborah gets back out here, I think we're gonna flip a coin. Which one you want to use? What do you guys think? No, it doesn't. Verify. I'll make Deborah. This is special. This one's a half dollar. Oh, we did have someone with two votes, but she did decline. So we'll come over here. We're gonna do a coin. You wanna stand up, yeah? Come up here with me. 1976 half dollar. With the hot dog. Who wants to call? Go ahead. My heads, oh, your tails. All right, here we go. Tails. Thank you, Trevor. Good luck. Thanks, Trevor. Never one phone call in my life. Have you seen her run up the one? I'm done. Well, my Irish is going to come out, that's all. All right, ready? You can lean up on this if you need to. I, James. I, James. McLaughlin. Do solemnly swear. That I possess all the qualifications. Prescribed by law. For the office to which I have been elected. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And of the state of Missouri. The laws of the state of Missouri. Affecting fourth-class cities. And all the ordinances of the city of Dixon. And that I will faithfully demean myself. In the office of Ward 3 alderperson. For which I was elected. Well, there's a point of city, so. That's what I'm thinking. Nope. I wanted to put myself up. Sorry. No. Ready?
I have a question. What does demean when you say demeans?
Your character, you'll hold up a good character.
Okay.
You won't, straight up and down the street.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the set the budget workshop. I would like to set it for this month.
For the 27th.
April? What day is that?
Monday.
Okay. I'm good with that. What's happening?
Pardon? That's all right.
Tuesday? The 27th of April, is everyone good with that? We'll set our budget workshop, and then that night we'll discuss the workshop for the ordinances.
What time, 6?
Yeah, we don't have Trevor, so yeah, we can have our time right now. I gotta give you minimum more time. Can we have it earlier than 6 then? You wanna do it early? You always wanna do it early. You want to do 5:30?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta.
You don't want to be sitting around for.
No, she don't. 5:30.
I'm good.
Earlier than that, me.
I can do 5:15. I can do 5:30.
Good job, but at 5:30, I don't care.
5:30, April 27th.
Okay.
Okay. Lily and I are going to be meeting with the departments in the near future for the budget amendments. Budget workshop. The spring cleanup curbside pickup will go parallel with the traffic events that's Wednesday and Thursday this week. The newly elected candidates will need to come in this week and fill out paperwork with me. I just wanted to say that so that both of you would know you need to participate. In your package, you'll find the wage and rate studies. They're completed by McLean and Gowden and MRWA. And both entities indicate that our water and wastewater rates are in need of increase. So you'll find the documentation in your packets. And then I've been working with McLean, Archer, Elgin, MRPC, and DNR to iron out the details of phase 2, so we can apply for the additional $750,000 CDBG wastewater grant. They extended the deadline out 60 days to June 13th, but we still have to determine the funding structure for the loans and the grants in order to apply and do the public hearing. The current funding structure with the $750,000 brings us down to an SRF loan that they still want for us of $1.78 million. So we kind of need to make some decisions on that.
Yeah, we need to decide what we want to do for sure. Because there won't, the SRF loan, I don't know what the deadline is on that, but I know Jeff said Meadows said they extended it, I think, for us. So.
Well, June 13th is, they extended that CDBG, but that public hearing is going to say all of the details. And
The public hearing will talk about how much we're going to borrow, the SRF loan amount, the interest rate, the total project, and I think we need to probably have a meeting with Jeff Meadows, maybe somebody from DNR for this, because I'm having a hard time them forcing us to borrow all this money for something that only happens 2-3 times a year. And it's a chlorination system, so it's completely opposite from the UV system that we're just now getting installed. So now we're going to have 2 sets of...
Parasitic acid.
Yeah. But you're going to have a chemical on the front side, and then you'll have a UV system on the back side. So it's 2 completely...
You'll have 2 different alcohols with 2 different disinfectants.
Yes. That we will have to pay to maintain. And we've already had 10 days of electricity on the lights that have shown up, the UV lights that have been going. They've been functioning right.
They function great.
They do great. We're looking at about $55 a day to run those UV lights.
During recreational season, which is from April 1st through October 31st.
But most of the year. And it's probably not going to go down a whole lot any other time. They still have to be on and running.
They have to run. So we'll be bothering our parade.
Yeah.
If we got it.
The UV system was the big one. That was the one we had an abatement. We were going to get fined every day. We had to do that. This one, you can see what they want us to raise the rates to. And this isn't even to borrow the SRF. This is just to raise the rates. Yeah.
What are they talking about making borrow?
They want us to borrow $1.7 million from SRF.
And this is through Archer?
That would be through the state.
Through the state.
Yeah, sorry. That's through the state, through DNR. It's
Through
their
Archer
program.
Yeah.
They're saying we need another $5 million, which 3-something grants.
Yeah.
So how does that impact us?
If your rates go up.
By how much are you talking?
I know.
It's still a little.
That's $2 just for revenue. That's not including what we have to borrow. They'll probably go up more like $6.
So now you need this,
Uh-huh.
now you need this. That's the way Archer works.
Yeah.
That'll be $6 cost for a year, then another $6 after that the next year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No, I just wanted to we couldn't hear how it's gonna affect us. I know it's gonna affect.
The rates are gonna go up. And then the other thing with the SRF, you have to keep in
I'll just
mind,
get the bill.
even if we try to adjust the phase 2 project, like take some things out, lower the price, it makes the loan amount go down, but it also makes the grant go down.
So no matter what, you have to get a loan. No, you have to get a loan if you get SRF.
So is it something they have to get?
That is the major thing, but to be the devil's advocate, which I'm not for raising rates whatsoever, you're leaving $3 million in grants on the table, is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, I'm not for it, but you are leaving $3 million
On the table, so that we don't have to be in debt.
But you have to borrow money to get
You have to
that.
that's not the way my brain works. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the way Melrose wants to say something. You're doing it in grants, and I'm like, I understand that, but I have to borrow still.
Yeah.
To get it.
That's the world's economy, it's not working.
I would like to set up a meeting. It'll probably be in May, I don't know if it'll be April. We'll have to talk to Jeff, see when we can get him in here. And Heather, I think Heather Rosenberg from B&R should come too. That's the SRF person, right? Yeah, SRF. I mean, right now, as far as phase 2 goes, we don't have anything from DNR that says you have to do this and we will take your permit. Right now, the current ARPA that we're doing, current phase 1 is you have to do it or we're taking your permit. So that's why we're doing it.
You're talking about the UV?
Yes.
Okay. And that's
Phase 2, they've also built in a phase 2 that they want to do, which is, so when we get, 5-6 inches of rain, our lagoons will overflow. And they want to treat that water before it even gets in the lagoon. And that's what phase 2 is. But that happens 2-3 times a year. I think, what was it, last year, even with all the rain we had last year, it did it twice.
We can all know it's hard, please.
Yeah, which again, every treatment plant in the state of Missouri has peak flow issues when it rains. I mean, that's just every treatment plant. So, saying we need to get in a large debt, I mean, just
Give them $3 million back, go draw interest on it, or not.
I mean, they'll just give it to somebody else. They'll borrow it, so. I want to put that out there when Kelly brought this up, that we'll probably have a special meeting with Jeff, so you guys can ask questions and answer them. He can answer questions. He can attempt to sell it to us yet again.
Will it be an open meeting?
It'll be a meeting for, we'll do it in the evening, Robert, so you can for sure be here.
Well, I'll be here during the day if it be.
I don't think. I'm still here. Who all do you want there, Mary? Jeff? For sure Jeff Meadows, somebody from DNR. So I don't know that we need an applying, we need him. He's the water guy. He'd be the one that would loan us the money.
I'm more likely to do it if he wants to come over, he might not know.
That's fine. He can be on us.
I tried to get Matt Riley up here with enforcement. See what I.
For DNR enforcement.
Because if he says we're not in enforcement, then what's the problem? We don't have to do it, so.
If we come up with another name before we have a meeting, we'll add it to the list.
Divide over, like that.
Do we think? Don't we did, okay.
I'm pretty sure I asked you just, if there was anything else we needed to do. I'll get you into it. Now we can raise this.
Now we're on phase 2.
Sorry, move my arm there. I'm on the wrong side.
It's been going on all night. All right, Kelly, are you finished? Yes. Lacey?
Last month, we had a really great program for the DFW Post 4238, and we have another one this month. It is tomorrow at 11 a.m. So they've been doing it monthly, and I love that. They're going to keep doing that. We also had a Easter bunny visit. We had 72 people come. We also had animals come to our Easter bunny visit, and that was super fun with the people from Dewberry Acres, which is also my librarian assistant. It's her family that owns that, so they brought their animals up. We were notified last week by the Pulaski County Growth Alliance that we've been chosen to be recognized at their meeting this Wednesday as an entity promoting growth in Pulaski County. So I'm going to go attend their meeting this Wednesday. I guess in a couple of days to be recognized for that. So that's exciting. And then I also wanted to update you guys. I know that I came to the city council meeting, Ray and I did, which Ray was supposed to be here tonight as well, but of course she's on stage. But she and I went to that workshop, if you guys remember, in Jefferson City for the downtown revitalization grant. So after further investigation and further paperwork that we were sent on that, we have changed our minds completely. So we took it to the chamber. The chamber did in fact agree to pony up to $13,000 for that if we couldn't raise the funds. So that was super exciting for us until we did get the paperwork, and it was not quite what we expected. And after further research, we decided the return on investment wasn't quite there. We found out there was literally no funds coming from them at all. They were basically going to hold our hand while we developed our own 501c3 and hunt for funds, like look for grants basically. They were going to help us do that, which obviously you guys were aware that I do that myself daily, pretty much. And I know how to set up a 501c3. So, Ray and I don't need any help with any of that, and we didn't see the need to spend $13,000 to do that. So we have chosen to step back from that. We were not committed to that in any way, shape, or form. So we have chosen to step back from that without a good return on investment. So we will not be moving forward. I obviously still have all the information if we decide to do that in the future, but basically the big thing, you know, I talked to Deanna again, for instance. They were a community we knew, you know, that obviously participated, and basically she said the reason why they went ahead with it, because I was like, am I reading this correctly? You know, I wanted to make sure that I was not, you know, reading it improperly. She goes, no, that's correct. They don't match any funds, like they don't give you any money. She said that they did it because they didn't have a chamber, they didn't have any 501c3s in their community at the time, so it really did help them, and it was a positive for them, and they really needed all that help. Yeah. So that's why they invested. So we decided to step back from it, like I said, for obvious reasons, because, like I said, we don't need any help in those avenues, so we didn't feel the investment was a smart one for us. So I wanted to keep you guys informed on that, which I know Kelly and Mary already knew that, but I wanted to make sure the rest of the council knew. And I did want to send out a reminder to the community too that my crafty friends in the library meet at the library Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 p.m.
Thank you, Lacey.
Okay, so we had 136 calls last month. Actually a good month for us as far as crime being down, minimal reports. Moving forward, the cars have been ordered, the check's been sent, so we're just waiting on them to get put together, and then we're going to pick them up, so we'll have our new vehicles. They stay up to 120 days. I don't know how long it's really going to take. I mentioned before, we're working on going through policies, or going through ordinances and finding ones that aren't where they should be, like the abatements, you know, the grass tickets, the business license, animal. We're still looking at multiple options on dog large. And I honestly believe after looking at us not having a pound or any kind of resources, we just need to make like an astronomical fine. That way people know that we're taking it serious, because I don't know what, and I can't find it in the ordinance what the fine actually is for a dog at large ticket. But I know that there's a lady that I've literally written 10 to 12 tickets, and she just kicks her dogs out every day. So I drive by, give her a ticket, and she hollers for the dogs, they come back to the house, and then we do the same thing all over within 2 days. So, that is something that we're looking at. If anybody has any suggestions on that. Next thing is City Watch will be this Thursday, the 16th. If anybody's interested in coming to that. Last week we had council members over, last month we had council members only show up to it. But it is open to the public, tell everybody to come down. It's to better our community, for us to get to know each other, for the community to get to know the police department, and basically how we work and what we're doing to get things done. So.
Make sure you put something on social media.
I will.
I missed it, it was too late, so.
I will.
But yeah, try to get something on Wednesday or something.
Okay.
That'll remind me too.
Perfect. Perfect.
Chief, what have we done with our surplus stuff yet? You got it listed anytime?
To be honest, I mean, we've got it in a pile. We have not priced anything, making one through anything. We've been pretty busy with bigger stuff. Stuff that demands our attention versus free time that we can actually get after it and get it done. But we do have a pile, and we are starting to get it separate, electronics versus, hardware versus whatever. So we just have to actually go through and start pricing all that stuff and try to get it out there. But all of our stuff is in the back corner of our jail. So it's not like maintenance where it's scattered all over. Like, we don't have a ton of stuff, it's just a bunch of little stuff that we need to go through. So I hate to say out of sight, out of mind, but when you got what we got going on all the time, it's kind of nice to I got 3 minutes, I'll go back and see if I can't eBay a price on the 1973 walkie-talkie cereal or something.
Probably gonna have to gut deal with a lot of that.
I think, yeah. So, but that's all I got.
I don't see any protocols on this list, that's good.
Yeah, we've had a couple, so the list that we put out, that's what our department has taken. I have fought and full team with the county trying to get all of our CADs, which is calls for service. When the county calls me after hours, or it's super early in the morning or super late at night or whatever, we have to figure out something to get a more accurate call from them. But yeah, the narcotics has gone down for sure.
Now, the dispatcher works Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 or 8 to 4 or?
8 to 4. Yeah, so our police department is actually open, and I'll say it again, I've said it a million times, but we're always here. There's always an officer for Dixon. Now, whether I have to put my uniform on and go to the call, or if I'm in town, or whatever the case is, and if we're not in town, then there is a county officer that does come up and cover until I get there, or whatever the case might be. So, if you call the department and they transfer you to Pulaski County, tell them what's going on. Multiple times, it'd be 2-3 days later, and somebody come up and be like, I've had this stolen or this happened, and then we're walking into it blind on a cold case that we have no idea. And, at least let us know, like county know, and they'll dispatch, just like now. I mean, I've always getting calls from them, so it's important to call the police if you want them to work with.
Well, the reason I asked is I was on the way to the PD highway, and it was a Wednesday. And I called it like at 2:30, there was a truck broke down, a semi broke down on 28. And I called Dixon, and it went right to the county.
When was it? On what?
It was probably a couple weeks ago, it went right to the county. It was like 2 o'clock, 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon.
Now, we have been having major issues with our phones.
Okay.
There's some with the firewall, or some, I'm not an IT person, but I know that Shannon has been working diligently on it, trying to get it fixed. Because we don't know if it's not working. Like, we're there, or Jimmy's there for sure, but what happened is when it transferred to the county, then they just dispatch me out. They call me and say, hey, this is what's going on. So, but yeah, that's a whole other monster we've been fighting. It's hard to be a police department and not have a telephone, or not know we have a telephone or not. So, matter of fact, Shannon was down there this morning, working on it. She was there last week working on it. And I think she thinks she has it figured out now, so we just have to get it actually done. So something happened when the police department wanted to completely separate from City Hall. Remember when all that happened? And they were not IT people.
Are we looking at different co-options though?
Yeah, I went ahead and I think the Lily or Kelly one's gonna check the GTEC, because I know they're local.
She had an appointment up there this afternoon and she was gonna talk to
She was
them.
gonna talk to them,
So
okay, good.
she just didn't come back.
That's fine. But yeah, just to see what, because I like the idea of having the customer service when you call a person that will come here and talk to them, anybody, you know, whatever they need. So, we don't mind looking into how much that would cost, I don't know what the cost on that would be. But I think we're gonna at least check on it.
Yeah, she'll get back to me.
Are you done, Chief?
Yes.
Okay. Nate? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sorry.
28 completed work orders from March. There was no main breaks. We did have a small outage to replace a hydrant at the cemetery. There was one sewer backup on the homeowner, and then water loss at 23%. Country Club Sewer Project, currently we're still in the easement phase of the project. The projected date for draft orders will be beginning of May. And like was said earlier, UV disinfection is installed and it's in operation. We conducted the first samples and they showed a low E. coli count, which is way under the limit from the permit. We are going to be taking over the Pulaski County Water District on Wednesday. I'm going to change out 18 meters, and that'll give us 18 new connections for the city. Report sent to DNR was the March EDMR, and then both back T samples passed for the month of March.
Yeah, I seen that.
We did put four street lights down at the soccer field.
Yeah.
Kelly's been working on events.
Like you guys should on one.
Yeah, we got one down at the Rock Yard as well.
It's installed
today.
Oh, they did? They got one today? Okay, good.
And then I'm going to throw a shout out to the Public Works Department for the podium.
Yeah.
Building the podium and getting City Hall moved back in as well.
It looks real good.
Listen, that was.
I know, I got one over here, I'm just running out of myself.
I was really gonna give a shout out to everyone in here, because that move was crazy. And I know your guys' lives for a couple days was insane, and Kelly and her girls were busting up to get over here, so, thanks for doing that quick. Everything looks great. It looks really good.
But the finished work that's Vince and Jeff Crane did it.
Oh, absolutely, this thing turned out real nice.
Good job, Vincent.
They're on 4th Street. We got a light at the crosswalk. The crosswalk at the church.
Jack, Jack, my head.
Well, I don't know,
So Jack missed the hearing, he was late, so he asked some questions about regarding the public hearing, I'll let him go ahead.
when you guys transfer everything over on deposits and stuff, is that gonna transfer over if the bill and everything's paid up?
The deposit you'll get back from Pulaski County
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay,
But they can't do it until they do their last reading, which is the 15th.
okay. And then what you guys were discussing earlier about an increase on stuff to help pay for.
That's super.
That's super.
Is that, so it's not gonna apply on water,
No.
not that direction?
Yeah, that's a phase that's not even, it's just in the talks right now.
And that, well, that may be something we need to look, because it's a non-resident water.
They're rural. They're rural water.
There'll be
Yeah.
rural water.
Rural water.
Your bill will go up a little bit, but it won't be a significant.
The 5% 5% increase that's by ordinance will impact you, like January 1. Some of the rates may go up a little, but sewer's not out there.
It'll just be your water.
I know we talked about there's leak and stuff out there right now.
Right, yeah. Mainly,
They did anything.
yeah, maybe we'll wait till Wednesday to take over the system.
Make a motion to go into
Well,